What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. And today we're coming at you from the mobile command center. It's a staple on our channel from a long time ago. Sometimes you just can't make a video in a studio. You just got to make a video on the fly. So today I'm going to be talking about something pretty interesting from what I've noticed coming back in just a short time that I've been back in the game. I have, unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, but I have been playing a Vegex deck since coming back. And of course, the problem card, or the card that is up for a lot of discussion in regards to it being banned, is the Bibidi super combo. So I kind of wanted to, I know there's probably 1,000 of these videos already on YouTube, but I kind of wanted to look at it in a vacuum and look at it as a card, you know, as a whole, and just kind of maybe offer some insights that other people haven't yet. But if we look at the card here, it's a 2-drop super combo. It's got 3K printed combo power, but its auto is when you combo with this card, if all of your energy is black, so it's restricted to mono black leaders, this card gets plus 1,000 combo power for each card in both your drop and your warp area. So that's a problem. If you have been playing this game for a long time and you've played, you know, in the Shugesh, you know, meta. Shugesh at that time was hands down the best super combo that we had available in the game. It just did so much. There were so many 3-drop or less Saiyans in the game that just did great things when they came out into play. One of the more popular combos was using Shugesh into explosive Son Goku and just blowing up your opponent's battle card if it didn't have barrier, if they just shotgunned into you. Or later on, when Preface of Recovery Son Goku came out, it was also really popular, just Shugeshing in Preface and then untapping 2 energy, which is insane because, you know, it's an extension. You get a body on board and you get more energy to just continue your plays. So after a while, Shugesh, you know, was considered getting banned and then eventually got banned because a card like Shugesh can limit game design. It hinders Bandai. It prevents them from printing super busted cards that would have too much interaction with Shugesh. Think about the card pool now that we're in set 10, going into set 11, and how many 3-drop Saiyans there are in this game currently. Shugesh had no restriction on what Saiyan it was bringing in, except for that 3 cost restriction. It wasn't color restricted. It wasn't power restricted. If it was 3 or less, you could bring it in with Shugesh. And there's a lot of cards that were valid targets for that card. So just for the state of the game, for the health of the game, Bandai decided to put it on a ban list. And we've been fine ever since. You know, there's been really no issues with super combos. Even when I was still in the game, when I got out of the game, there was really no issues with super combos until Bibidi came out. Now, I remember briefly Bibidi first coming out in set 9, and it was the main super combo that you used in the Majin Buu deck. The one, you know, with the leader on the backside, you draw back up to 6 cards, and you basically just play with no hand for the entire game, do everything from the drop area. That's when I first came across the card. I wasn't playing at the time, but I did see it, you know, just coming across it and going to card shops and stuff. But now I think Bibidi is at full power because we have a leader like Vegex. So if you're looking at Bibidi as a card itself, it's not by itself, it's not broken at all. Because you have to facilitate your drop area and or warp area for you to get the full value from that card. So on its own, it's a 3K combo card with maybe a couple thousand more power here and there, depending on how much you have in your drop area. When you combo Vegex with Bibidi is where it starts getting nutty. Vegex is the only leader in the game, black leader in the game, that's a burst 5, if I'm not mistaken. Auto, burst 5, draw a card. Super simple. However, Vegex being a value town deck, gets to play its bodies on boards for free when they're milled from the top of the deck with a leader skill. So you're getting pluses that way, but you're also facilitating your drop area very efficiently for Bibidi. If you do the math, you're bursting 5 cards every turn. Let's say you get to turn 4 essentially without playing any cards from your drop area for free. So you've milled 20 cards by turn 4. So you've milled 20, you've drawn 4, and you're in range to awaken. And Vegex is an awaken, untap 1, draw 1. And if you have more than 6 life, you add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6. So you already have 20 cards in your drop area by turn 4 at minimum, right? So or let's just say drop or warp. You have 20 cards in your drop area. Now, if you're doing the math, Bibidi gets an extra 1,000 combo power for each card in the drop area. So it's a 20k combo plus it's 3 printed. So it's a 23k combo. With a leader swing going at 15, you're sitting at, what is that, 38,000 power with just a leader swing and 1 combo card. That could be problematic because your opponent essentially has to combo up to 40 to survive that attack. And that's only with just 1 Bibidi and 20 cards in your drop area. The way Vegex plays, and it facilitates drop and it facilitates warp, and you can play multiple copies of Bibidi. Obviously, you can play 4 Bibidis, and you can incorporate that with a double strike Champa and the top tier builds playing Splintering Mind and literally guaranteeing themselves damage. It can become problematic because it's so potent with the facilitation of your drop and your warp. Now, granted, Vegex does have that permanent skill that he doesn't mill himself out, and he would reshuffle everything back into the deck. So in a perfect world, you're obviously going to want to get as many cards in your drop and your warp when you're using your Bibidis. But let's say for some odd reason, you burn through 4 of your Bibidis and you still haven't won the game. You don't deck out, so you can reshuffle your drop area back into your deck and just start the process all over again. And Vegex still mills 5 on his Awaken side. So you just get to start the process all over again. Now, like I said in the beginning, Bibidi on its own is not broken. But when you start facilitating stuff like Vegex, when you start using cards like Fu, Mission Accomplished, which for 2 energy, you warp it from your drop and you get to get a black battle card from your warps to your hand or whatever the case may be, you could just keep recycling your Bibidis and making it a continuing problem for your opponent. Because the combo step is very interactive in the game of Dragon Ball. However, your opponent has to respond or match or over combo so they don't take damage. But how do you combo in this game? You're burning resources from your hand or from your field or from your battle area. So if you're comboing with Bibidis and you're getting to like ridiculous numbers of 100, 150k, you're essentially guaranteeing yourself that damage, because unless your opponent has unlimited amounts of super combos and draw cards and beans or whatever the case may be, and they somehow get to combo out, there's nothing they could do for that Bibidi. Now, if you go back to where Mira Creator absorbs Battering Laser and Double Strike Furthering Destruction Champa, back in the day, that was a game-ending combo. Like, there was nothing you could do about it. If your opponent had the 3 energy to play Mira, Champa, and Battering with a yellow card in hand, it was essentially game, because Mira got absurd in its battle power because it got 5,000 power for every card in your warp area. So Bibidi is slightly similar to the fact that it can guarantee that damage, because you weren't going to combo out of a Mira swing. You just weren't going to do it. If you didn't have the counter, you lost. But if you did have the counter, now you have to worry about your opponent's battering. So stuff like that is what opens people's eyes, and they start thinking about cards being ban worthy. So Mira Double Strike Champa Battering was broken. So what happened? Battering Laser got banned. Okay, cool. So what's the problem now? The problem now is Bibidi, and Bibidi is going to hinder future game design, because every single black leader or every single mono black strategy that Bandai either wants to print or the player base wants to play, they're going to have that crutch of Bibidi, in the back of their mind. Like, if we're moving into set 7, we're getting a ridiculous amount of black support. Black is starting to become its own color. It's no longer being looked at the redheaded stepchild being a support color. It still does have, support characteristics, but for the most part in set 11, they're trying to give it legs. They're trying to make it so it can stand on its own. And I think the card pool is extensive enough to where you're going to start to see more mono black strategies moving forward. I mean, Vegex has been dominating the meta for quite some time, and I still think there's going to be some good black leaders moving into set 11. So at the end of the day, as a player base, as a community, of course, we want what's healthiest for the game. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves. We want to be able to play at the highest level of competition. We want to be able to interact with our opponent as much as possible. And when you're looking at Bibidi, it reduces all of those things. It reduces competition, it reduces strategy, and it reduces interaction. Because of one card being so powerful, it can completely mess up the math. It can completely mess up a game-ending push. And defensively, it could completely save you from losing an entire game. You could have one card left in hand to your opponent's 5, and they can shotgun out and try to kill you, but you still have that one Bibidi to save you. So at the end of the day, looking at Bibidi, I think it should get banned. I think cards like that shouldn't exist. A lot of arguments are being made that, oh, it gives black an identity, this, that, and the third. Okay, I understand. You play devil's advocate. You want to see both sides. But at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. And I think that a card like Bibidi is going to just limit the game design moving forward, because you're always going to have to keep in the back of your mind, I want to make this really good black, mono black strategy. Oh, but I can't because of Bibidi. Or I can't because it's going to make Bibidi too broken. Same thing happened with Shugesh back in the day. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I honestly think it should get banned. Do you guys think it will? Set 11, I think, got pushed to October. So there's still probably maybe a month and a half left of this set 10 meta. But all in all, at the end of the day, I really think for the health of the game, Bibidi should probably go, especially because you always want to encourage new players to play the game. But for a card like Bibidi, as easy as it is to pick up, it's not fun playing against it. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.